Hi guys, this is Daily Wish here. Thank you so much for coming back here again, and I'm so happy and so grateful to you guys that you are taking out time and watching all my videos that I'm posting here. And on top of that, whatever your questions are coming, I'm trying my level best to answer them all, and it just feels nice that whatever work you are doing, people are appreciating it. So on that good note, I want to address today's topic. Today's topic is quite interesting because today we are going to discuss what it means to embody and persist in the state in 3D. Okay, so this is one of the topics which I am pretty much sure everyone has thought about it once in their lifetime whenever they have come across this law of assumption, that what it actually means to embody a state, okay, and how you can persist in that same state until the whole thing becomes a hardened fact and it is reflected back in your 3D. Okay, so today's topic is quite important. Just bear with me and listen to this entire concept throughout the video. You will understand the basic meaning of this embodiment. So there is a great quote from Neville. I want to start like that: whether or not you are disciplined enough to sustain the required state of consciousness in specific instances has no bearing on the truth of the law itself. That's an assumption. Now, if persisted in, will harden into fact. The certainty of the truth of this law must remain despite great disappointment and tragedy. Even when you see the light of life go out and all the world go on as though it were still day. Okay, now let me explain. What that means is, if you fail at the stuff, okay, it's not the law's fault, it's your own failure. It's your failure to persist in the mental state which required mental discipline, apparently. All right, so whether or not you are disciplined enough to sustain the required state of consciousness in specific instances, this is what it means, right? So there are so many people talking about it, and there are so many people saying in general that it is so easy. How it is so easy? How everyone is overcomplicating things? This is this is like a drama. I am not able to understand why people are just overcomplicating things. But discipline is not required to sustain easy things. Okay, so what does this whole thing means? What does actually Neville means? He gives clue to the reality behind the concepts he's presenting in his work constantly, and if you miss it, you'll definitely you'll enjoy that free cup of coffee, but probably not much else, right? Getting things is one thing, changing self is quite another thing. So you need to understand the difference between these two things. Okay, now the big thing I think a lot of people are missing out is that your conscious thoughts and your body are a part of your 3D. Okay, 3D is not everything outside your eyeballs, it is everything outside your creative mind. Your personality, your behavior, your conscious thoughts, your action are all 3D, right? So when you are disciplined enough to sustain the required state of consciousness in specific instances, again I'm quoting Neville's quotation here, that means you continue to think, that is in 3D, and behave in 3D to the best of your ability, like a person who is what you want to be, despite your perhaps many 3D conscious mind thoughts that come in and tell you you are not that thing, that impulse that you get from the 3D mind to continue to act like an old man, the evidence you see in the 3D, and remember that from the past that convince you that you are not the thing, and so on and so forth. Because 3D is going to project what is happening inside you. Okay, 3D is just a projection. You are the projector. You are putting in the film, and it is just projecting everything as an film form outside. Okay, now if you persist long enough, you will become that person. You will legitimately naturally think, and even you act like that person. And if you persist in that state long enough, you will eventually stay in that state with much less mental effort and discipline. And the longer you stay in the new state, the more it is going to feel so natural, just like you are so natural, right? So let's say if you want to have a job. Okay, so what is it that you see when you embody that state wherein you do have a job, your dream job? How would you act? How would you think? How would you see the world around you? How would you perceive things once you get your desire? That is your final state. That is the state of mind. That is what you need to embody. And if you are going to persist long enough in that state of mind, in that embodiment of the mind, you will become that person. If you are looking for success, act and think as if you are already successful. Even if you are drinking a cup of coffee, drink as if you are the most successful person in the world. How would you drink that coffee? What is your body language? How are you going to shake hands with the other people? How are you even glancing them? How are you even looking at them? You must be going to look at them with this level of confidence, right? You are going to shake their hand with a level of confidence, and there is a vibe to it, right? And if you keep on persisting and role playing in the same manner and embodying this whole state from your future, it is going to happen in your 3D like right now. Okay, but at first it often requires a lot of discipline. It is not a child's play in the beginning. Okay, and it is not a failure of the law if you don't exercise that. Okay, it is the law that is working perfectly. You will stay exactly where you are if you continue to think, act and behave the way you always have. As I have mentioned before, it just means that you continue to think in 3D and behave in 3D, but to the best of your ability. To the best of your ability, that the person who is what you want to be, despite whatever your 3D or the rest of the circumstances are coming in, right? They all are trying to tell you that this is not right, this is not matching with the 3D, please change your state of mind. Totally ignore it, completely ignore it. All right, so it's not just dreaming of what you want to be and then magically with no effort in 3D you are not the former you anymore. Okay, to illustrate an example for more clarity, let's say you have embodied the mentality that creates three different outer physical states. Okay, let's say one is fat you, the second one is your normal you, and the third one is your skinny you, right? The mentality of each of these states, it is totally and incredibly different from each other, right? The normal you won't think much about the food because you do not have to worry about food, right? Because you are in your normal physical shape, right? You just eat what you want and don't peg out, don't eat it raucously, right? You don't really think about food, that oh my god, if you eat this, if you eat that, you are going to get fat, or etc etc. I hope you are getting my point, right? It just says that you are totally in your generic set weight and you are in that state of mind. Naturally, by default, you are going to choose things which are going to make you feel in a normal state, in a normal weight state. Okay, The fat you, let's say, you just ate for sport, out of boredom, at the slightest emotional upheaval, for fun or whatever, you have just eaten everything. Okay, whatever the emotions are, it is going to hit you, and there you are eating this, eating that. Okay, and thought a lot about food and how much you are weight, how much you are weighing, and all that, nonsense things. It was how many unhealthy decisions can you make today? Right? Basically, when you try to go on a diet from that mentality, it was all about how much you can still manage to eat. There is a difference. In the previous one, you are thinking how many unhealthy decisions can you make today, right? And now when you have embodied a natural state of a normal you, right, in that state you are going to think how much can you eat, how much can you eat just to manage your body weight. Okay, now the skinny you was incredibly disciplined about the food, exercise, and naturally ate at a completely different diet. That is how you have maintained that skinny figure, right? The thought of ordering a pizza was just not something skinny anymore. Okay, you would not entertain that thought. Okay, that might sound bad to someone who isn't incredibly disciplined about their diet, but for you, in that mentality, it was just not a naturally occurring thought or action. Are you getting my point? So the discipline that's needed to persist through the transition of all these states, it is the hard part. It is the hard part of all of this. It's like, killing the old man, and now you are embodying a totally new version of yourself. Okay, and it actually requires a lot of discipline. Okay, so whenever you have such kind of thoughts of your old self, you need to remind yourself, nope, you are not going to eat for fun, you are not going to eat for comfort or whatever anymore, right? Basically, not acting on the impulses that kept you again in the old state. I hope you are grasping this point loud and clear. Okay, so it requires discipline and persistence. And the failure to be disciplined and persisting in the mental state of a person who is not overweight, and is why nearly everyone fails to changing their body, why the poor easily stay poor, why people end up in same type of relationship over and over again, because the old man is still there, wanting to persist in all the old thoughts and behaviors, and will stay there until you outlast him. There is a persistence, right? So all you need to do is think. You continue to think in 3D and behave in 3D to the best of your ability, like the person who is what you want to be. The real reason, the basic reason I said this, to the best of your ability, is because if you are making a major change, broke mentality to rich mentality, fat mentality to thin mentality, insecure to secure, low opinion of yourself to high opinion of yourself, unfulfilled to fulfilled, you may not have the real idea of how that person thinks or maybe behave. But you have to start somewhere, right? You have to take that first step, right? So you start where you are and trust that as long as you persist, the steps of the process you don't even know or can't even imagine will be shown to you. They will. It is the law. Right? So yeah, that's it. This actually became a quite long video. I'm pretty much sure I managed somehow to give you the in-depth clarity about this whole concept. So it's all about embodiment of your desired state of mind and then acting like it. Okay, and ignoring completely your 3D, you just live the life of that person. You just live and think and behave exactly in the same manner as this person, the new version of yourself, is going to think. Do it for just 24 hours. Okay, and I challenge you to do that because this is one of the hardest things I have done in my life. It was not easy. It was not easy. But yes, slowly and gradually you develop this habit, and then naturally it just comes to you naturally. Okay, so, and I'm extremely sorry about the noise in the background. There's some construction happening around my building, and that is why this noise is happening, even if I'm using the microphone. So I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, that's it. I hope you liked today's video. In case if you did, do not forget to give it a big fat thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I come up with lots and lots of interesting stuff, and I will be meeting you very soon in the next video with the maybe money exercise, or maybe SP exercise, or maybe a, yeah, I'm thinking about these two topics for my next video. If you do have any suggestion or any question, do write to me in the comment section, and I would love to reply you back. And until then, happy manifesting.